Well, dear one, an expert works as a professional that keeps his expertise but gives you the benefit of it. A teacher, on the other hand, gives you his expertise that you may exercise the benefit of it yourself. Do you see? It's given. Well, you might be paying the teacher, of course. You might feel the teacher needs a living. He's good at teaching and needs a living. Or he may be paid by the state. Well, that's rather fine. I had that. I had obviously a usual schooling that was free up to I think I was just 16. Then 2 years at Tech College. Well, I had 3 years out before going on to university, and I had 3 years undergraduate grant for maintenance and fees, you know. Well, enough to live. Well, I just about managed to keep my old car going and eat and perhaps get a bit into debt, but not bad. And then postgraduate, then postgraduate, another 3 years, supplemented with a bit of teaching. So no debt at the end of it. Great blessing to start with such personal capital of training. You know, university qualifications and so on. And without debt. Don't know where we lost it. In England it was with, I think, sort of Thatcher onwards. I blame her for it anyway. Prime Minister of England at the time. Around about that sort of time anyway. Perhaps a bit more recently. No, yeah, it's more recently, was it? Yeah. I can't blame her for it. I don't know. I can. Just that it was more recent that we lost it. Where was I? Oh yes, the essence of things. Teach is to teach you the skill so that you may do it, whereas a professional sells you the benefit of the skill, but you're still dependent on the professional. And in a sense, you can't get any further in fashioning it to your liking because you can only choose from the professionals available and you have very little information on that. So you make do with the one you've got almost and shift on, and if it's really unsatisfactory, and perhaps give up. So teaching can be quite, it's a vocation. It's setting people up for life to cope themselves, not dependent on others, not having to earn money to buy the professional. Well, of course, teaching tends to be very specialised. So in fact, teaching is taken as a training for you to be a professional, which is a great shame, really. Should be training for you to be a wonderful citizen. And then the communist principle would be valid. You give according to your ability, and you receive according to your need. But of course, politically, it's impossibly difficult, it seems, to decide who should be giving how much and who should be receiving what. But it's an ideal, isn't it? In some sense, ideals are helpful. They give us something that we value from a heavenly perspective. And it trains us to know what heaven needs to be like, even if we can't achieve it here on earth. I mean, we do have teachers and we do pay them, and we have to, and it is according to, largely what the state decides is the right pay, or the organisation, the school, the university, or whatever. Well, teaching, nursing, and I felt police were all vocations. And ideally each of those spheres should be financed free to bless us, ideally in our mind, yeah? Perhaps it's just to bless the state. Well, it's all right if the state really is purposed on loving and caring for its people. But that's such a godly task that is seldom fully embraced by the state. And we end up with career politicians, of course. And it's very difficult to have a structure that ends up with godly politicians. And I do mean godly in the true sense, not unfortunately religious, but in the spiritual sense of the values that truly bless us and are what we would have in heaven, our heaven. The usual list, of course, dear one: kindness, provision, goodness, hope, care. And equality, really. An equality of benefit. I'm back to that principle, to each according to his need, from each according to his ability. I think that's my ideal. That's what we have labelled as communism, of course, and I don't think it's ever been actually practiced on earth. Perhaps the early church, historically anyway, practiced it mythically. I suspect they would have had problems if they did, and I won't say insurmountable, but very big problems in trying to achieve it. Oh, of course, I've done it myself. Another of the departments would be social work, wouldn't it? For the benefit of society, its members. Thank you, Heavenly Dad.